Well, hello everyone, it's Eddie here from Eddie Makes Art, and we're continuing this series of making a junk journal, start to finish. And in the last time we saw each other, I had finished the covers, putting the fabric on as far as the front, put some corners on, glued that nice and securely and neatly. Then we were left with, well, I was left with was, what am I going to do here? So I just went with the, the easy way out. I just took some of the same fabric from the cover, and I'm going to use it to the center, to cover the center here. But I need to trim this a little bit more because I basically just want about maybe a ½ inch on either side. So let me kind of get a little measurement here. So that would be about, cut it at 3½ inches across. And this is, we need about, we'll say 9 inches. Should we just go ahead and make it 9? Yeah. So 3½ by 9. And that's what we're gonna trim this at. Look what I got. New tool. So I got myself a rotary cutter because I was just struggling with the fabric, and I wanted to make sure that I had something that I could cleanly cut the fabric with for future projects. And I got this relatively inexpensively. I want to say like $6-7 on Amazon. And this is actually the package. It's, what it looks like. 45mm rotary cutter kit. It comes with four other blades plus the one here. So it comes with this little container here for safety. They're razor sharp, be careful, all that good stuff. This thing locks it, unlocks it, so it's unlocked now. It's locked now. But what I like about it is, to use the blade, you hold down the handle, but once you let it go, the blade retracts, which is great. So we're gonna use that in a second. We'll cut that up and then glue it down. And for the glue, we're still using the Fabrifix. That's gonna work for paper, fabric, all kinds of stuff. It's a permanent adhesive, it's silicone based, and it's a little stinky. So you want to do this in an open area or a well-ventilated area. And then for the inner covers, let me show you what I did here. So this is kind of before the next step, before the next video, So by the end of this video, we're gonna have this. So, oh, see, I saved my scraps. You gotta save your scraps, guys, because you never know. We're going to use them for something. So I have this extra bunch of the Tim Holtz scrapbook paper, which is a nice stock, I went ahead and I grunged it up, and I trimmed these out to create fold-outs. I like doing these fold-outs at the front of the book and the back. There's a little extra storage and all that good stuff. This one is not sealed down. This one is, and I'm just trying to remember why. There was a reason I didn't seal this one down, but you see I've put little, with the extra pieces, I made pockets here. So this is what it's going to look like. This is an old gel print of mine, and I created a pocket here, which I may want to do this. I may put it on a little tight, but that's okay. Just give it a loosey-goosey. It's not meant to hold a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll hold a tag or two, some stationery maybe. Whatever, nothing, I'm not trying to hold everything in the kitchen sink in here. So, and then this, we've got a little tuck spot there. So it's one in the front. Well, one in the front, one in the back. And I always label. If you've seen me make books before, I like to use these little extra scrap pieces of paper to label my things. So before I glued it in, I wanted to make sure that I glued them in the right spot. So we got my front cover, my back cover here, and this is what it looks like. It's closed. right? Oh, that's upside down. So yeah, we got that. Okay, so we got 2 flip outs we're gonna make. Easy peasy. And so you see the fabric looks great. So I'll talk more about these once we get to it. Let's go ahead and glue this down so we can get that dried as well. So if I had some more room, okay, move over. Talking to my coffee cup. Okay, so we said we need this at 3.5 inches wide. So, okay, boys. I hope you all doing well today. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood here. Can't complain. It is chilly though. Let me tell you that that cold came on quick. So 1, 2, 3, half. And what I like to do, just for my own sanity, just so I don't, you know, muck it up, I just lay a ruler down next to it so I know I'm at the right measurement and not, you know, going like that, which I tend to do. And why isn't this behaving? I should put my glasses on, duh. That's why I can't see what I'm doing. And then I'm just gonna come in and push forward. Take your time, Eddie. And that should be good. Yeah, that's where I kind of glitched it. But let's just, don't tell anyone. All right. So we have our 3.5 inch wide piece, and I want to make sure it's at least 9, which it is. Now this side's a little wonky. I'm gonna go ahead and just straighten that up. Now that I got a good tool to do it. It's always fun getting new tools. So, again, I'm just gonna hold it up next to the edge of the ruler, as close as I can, and take my time. Maybe be a little bit firmer, Eddie. All right. So now we can glue this bad boy down. Now it's kind of warm in my room right now because I have the heating on, the furnace on, so I just want to take my time with this so it doesn't dry too fast on me as far as the glue. So we're gonna go about there. Is that right? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And let's pull this back a little bit. Put some glue down. Use my little silicone spreader thingy here. This thing is awesome for all sorts of stuff, but especially for spreading glue, because it makes things easier. It's less messy as far as, you know, getting all over your hands and stuff, and it's less messy because you can clean it up really easy. You just rub the adhesive off of the silicone. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. And the reason I spread this glue and just don't lay it down in a bead, and, you know, or on the edges, it tends to show less through the fabric when I spread it out evenly, or as even as possible. I mean, you see some coming through here, but that's because it's still wet. However, you know, mostly you're not going to see it if you spread it out well. So let's continue. So how was everybody's Halloween? It was quite quiet here. I mean, I was busy. I was doing stuff for my channel, but the neighborhood, a lot of kids out. A lot of kids out. The neighborhood actually had a event for the kids, like you know, family type event in front of the old church. I say the old church because it's been shut down for decades now, and they haven't done anything with it. But they hold events in front of it because it's a big open space and it's fun. They've got music and they had all kinds of things for the kids and stuff, which is cool. Neighbors get to go and, you know, meet and talk, and while the kids get to know each other too, so it's cool. And okay, went down a little far. Okay, I'm just going to readjust here. Give myself a little less tension, a little more, just spread it out. Well, I mean, I've been the best idea. All right, I'll just have to trim this later. All right, here we go. And I think we're gonna need a little bit more adhesive right down here. A little bit there. And this also helps get into those little nooks and crannies without making a terrible mess, because you see how thin it is. But being silicone, it's also bendy. You can get all kinds of areas. I'm not going to worry too much about these edges because it's being covered up with the scrapbook paper that we're going to use for the insides. All right, so let me set that over to dry. And get the cutter out. So if you're going to go this route with the scrapbook paper, it's going to be important to think about where you want to cut it, what's going to show when you fold, because remember, it's a flip out. So if you're just using a plain, you know, one pattern all over, don't have to worry about it as much. But this has like writing, and then there's other stuff. So what I paid attention to was, okay, so I want this as my front cover. Okay. And it's gonna be, from the measurements I took from the book, I need it to be 11 inches by 8.5 inches. So I want 8.5 inches for the height and then 11 inches for the width, because we're gonna fold that in half. So we have, we're gonna fold that in half. So we have a 5.5 inch width with the fold over, right? But, so I looked at this and I said, how do I want this to look when I fold it out? And I glue it down. So I really wanted this text to show when it's closed. So, okay, I'm gonna make this the inside and this is the outside. So that way I know, okay, I want to cut I want to cut 1 inch off of this. This is a 12 by 12 sheet of scrapbook paper. So there you got 12. I'm going to cut that down to 11. Oops. Save your scraps. So this is what I do with my scrapbook paper scraps, which meaning this type of scrapbook paper, the heavier kind. And I keep my bits and pieces in here, in these little plastic bags. Zip it up, and there you go. You always got little bits and pieces to play with. 'Cause sometimes you don't need a whole giant sheet for something. All right, so we have 11 inches across. And then for the lower portion, we're gonna trim off 3.5 because we want this at 8.5. So bring that 8.5. Another piece. And then let's score it. And remember, this is going to be the inside. So I'm going to score it here at 5.5. And then I'm going to flip it over so I can make this easy for myself. This will be the front flap, and that's going to be 2.25 inches. So when you fold it in half, score that, smooth it out. So if I were to just keep it like this, that's fine, you could do that. But I wanted just a little extra pocket here. So I scored that 2.25 across. So now I have a little tuck in here. I can, you know, create a larger pocket. I could divide it in two. I can make just like, you know, cut this open maybe. I don't know, do all kinds of stuff with it. So, and this is what it'll look like when it's closed, right? So you got this part of the design, which is cool, and you've got that, and that'll be glued. So that's gonna be my front cover. Keep that together because I will forget. And then let's do the back cover. So the flip is gonna come from the right for the back cover, right? So let's say this is the inside. This will be the outside. It's got all it's got the music print. So what I want to do, like that side here. Again, we're gonna cut this to 11, but I want to trim from here because if it's folding this way, I don't want to lose that cool bit there. So we'll flip that over, line it up. Doesn't matter the side we cut this one on because we're just cutting for the height. So that would be 8.5. And at these measurements, it gives me enough of a border of a fabric showing. So that we don't have to bring this all the way out to the edge because sometimes that's annoying. And the more the book is played with, it starts to come up off the edge. That's what I find because I don't sew, so that's gonna happen, especially when you glue something, you know. That's just my experience, I'm just saying. Okay, so we're going that way. So again, we'll score 5.5. And then since this is the side that we're going to flip over, I'm gonna score it here. Okay. So let's see, these papers aren't always cut to the exact 12 by 12. So we just have to make an adjustment here. So it's more in half. All right, come on. Usually this the bone fold. Oh, here's the good one. There we go. Score the flap. Or not score it and fold it, crease it. It's already scored. And there we go. So we have our back cover. So I'm just gonna tuck this away. Yes, we've got our scrap. And then let's find a piece. We could do little corner tucks on there. Use that these scraps here. Find something maybe that's got more contrast to it. Let's see, what do we have here? I like that. Got the red here, and it's nice grungy piece. I could do that there, and then that one here. Easy, see? Nothing to it. I mean, you could use really like any sort of paper you've got. Like in the other one, like I said, for the pocket on the inside, I used the just an old gel print. I just inked it up and on the edges and distressed it. Okay, you know what? I do need the cutter, so I'm gonna bring you back. So, what did I cut these at? So let me just do it here. So if this is 3 1/4 inches, we want this to be 3. I'm going to cut this at 3 inches to give us enough of a border, and then we will have plenty of room to tuck. So let's forward the front. I mean, actually, this should be for here because that's on the bottom, right? And then we'll cut this one for the front. Now, you could certainly keep them like this and just do, let's do that. Let's keep these square, rectangle, whatever. And my whole bunch is here. And we'll just make these pockets like that, tall pockets. And let's pull these together, make little thumb holes. Come on. So those go in there perfectly. And then for pockets for the inside, what did I have? I don't have any more of that gel print, right? Nope. So let me get my little goodies over here. So this is kind of part of my process when I work on a new book. I make a pile of stuff that I want to use. I don't use every single thing, but I try to keep things that I think might go well in it in a pile. And as I'm creating things for it, I'll just add it to the pile. So let's see here. I did make these the other day. These are gel prints that I cut up into pockets and tucks. So we can use let's use those since they are already cut, and all we gotta do is glue them down. Just put this back. So there's some things I'll you know, that I already have made ahead, and then there's other things that I'll make. I mean, it all depends, and it's a junk journal, so it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy. Don't worry about that. If you don't have like all these different coordinating pieces, you don't have to. You don't have to have this kind of paper. You can use, another type of cardstock and maybe decorate it yourself. That's cool too. Use stamps, stencils like this. You could easily do this with a stencil. If you have music paper, like from the music books, like you find at the thrift store, man, that's perfect for that, because that paper is also a good thickness. That'll work here too. So I've got pockets and tucks, and pockets. So for the inside, I want something obviously, well, I mean, not obviously, but I want something larger for here. So let's see, what do I have for pockets? Or I could do stacking pockets. It'd be fun. And these gel prints, these are great. This is it's one big gel print I cut up, or two, but it's from it's got great fall colors, which is cool. Goes with the covers nicely. So we could do one there. Let's see, is it the same size? Actually, we could do double pockets. Let's do that on this one. And then maybe on the back one, we'll just use, we'll do a slanted pocket or a tuck. Right, okay, so we'll get that for our front. And how about, I cut a few different sizes, just depending on the print I had, and then kind of, the direction I wanted it to go. So that's her back cover. So that would be like that, which is great. And then this would be a nice little area. This would be more if it opened the other way, because I don't like that look. Now I could do it this way. So that's an option. That's an option. I like that one better. Let's see. So do you want something larger there? All right, so I'm just gonna go with the one that I love, which is that one. I love it for this space here, all right. There you go. Yeah, okay, we can put you over. You can go away now. And here's the question. Do I put holes? Do I want thumb holes? I do. I just don't want them as large. So I'm looking for something to use to cut with this so it doesn't bend on me. You know what? There we go. Packaging. Because with the thinner paper, this hole punch is really uncooperative. I'm just kind of eyeballing the center here. Easy, easy. Now these, they don't take much ink, although, I want to get rid of some of that white edge. So yeah, let me get my inker. What color should we use? I've got some of these other ones. Greens. Let's do this green. This is grass green. This is a permanent ink. It's a premium dye ink. Okay. I really need to replace these little foamy thingies. And really, see, it's not anything, you know, impactful. It's just, I want to get rid of the white edge from where the paper's been trimmed. That's all. And, you know, and there's some areas of my journals where I'll be a little more grungy, some less. It depends, you know. It depends on what's going on. It depends on my mood. It depends. I don't have a formula. So if you are asking if you need a formula to do something, I don't have a formula. My formula is basically pull out a bunch of stuff that I think will work together, and then, you know, start building, and I'll add, I'll adjust, I'll take away, I'll completely change, you know. It's just, I think that's fun, the fun part of the journey of making one of these books. And for some people, it takes months to make one, and that's cool, because that's their process. They're going through their own process. So don't feel bad if you see someone on YouTube making one in a day or in one video. I mean, that's different, you know. For me, I enjoy the process, the picking out of everything, you know, and making it my vision as opposed to somebody else's formula. If you catch my drift, you know. If you need a formula, that's fine. I can't work that way. I just want to make sure I got these. Okay, while I'm here, let me go ahead and just ink this one. And this, I'm not going to do a thumb hole on that one. Just going to glue it down. Should we do? I'm going to do the brown on there, the vintage photo. Oh, there's the lid. It stayed in the drawer. Now, the other thing you can do to give it a little more funky, junky look is take your scissors and distress it. If we want, we could do a little stenciling on here too. Let's do some numbers. We'll do it this way. Yeah, okay. These are Carrie Griffith's numbers, available at PM Artist Studio. Comes in a little set, which is great. So that was easy to do, right? Distress, ink, glue it down. Now let's glue these into the book cover. So remember, keep your labels right. So you know what goes where. I mean, you could do it this way if you made a mistake. It would be, you know, not such a terrible thing. But it messes with how the book, with the signature and all that. So I wouldn't, you know, I would try and be careful and keep it the right way around. Sure. For this, I'm not using Fabrifix. I used I'm using glitter glue. That's what I'm trying to say. Words are hard. So you see, everything is glued down. There's some lovely inking and stenciling. So let's just take this here and then just go all around. Now, you could certainly glue these things in after, you know, if you haven't decided yet, if you just want to put in the sort of framework there, and then, you know, decide on pockets and tucks and all that, you can certainly do that. This one I went ahead and glued, and you can use that as a tuck there. And let's do the back. Now on the one for the back, I did not glue this one. I purposely left it open in case I have a different idea, instead of just closing it. You know, so, but I don't have one yet. But I want to have the option to, you know, change this. Something I was thinking about adding is a tab. To pull these open. Oh yeah, that's something I can do later. But yeah, it's a thought I had. Tab. Okay, that's glued down. That's it. Now here, let me show you the. Yeah, so I showed you this one. This is the finished one. Well, finished as far as, you know, getting all these little bits and parts that I wanted to show you today in here. We got our pockets here. Like this one hasn't been glued, but this one has. Same thing, but a little bit different. Okay, this one a little more artsy. So we can put you to the side. And then this one. The third one I have. It's just, I haven't put it together, but it's the same thing that we did on the other one. And I just want to show you that for the back cover here. Yeah, so this is the back cover on this one. But I haven't cut a pocket or anything for that, so I think I want to do that now. And then this is the front. This will go like that. But I took this one, instead of folding the flap inward, I folded it the other way. So I have this really cool design going on here, plus the stripe. And you got your Uncle Bob there peeking out. And then this one I just kept like the other ones, but yeah. Very cool, got the cool writing on there. Got our pockets. Like I said, this was a gel print that I just inked the edges. I tore it by hand and then just inked the edges. All right, so I'm just gonna get going on these. I'm not gonna distress this one. See, I'm trying to do each one just a little bit differently. So I'm not gonna distress the edges on this one. I'm just gonna ink it up. So here we go, we're gonna ink her up. And it's best, if you are going to ink, to do it before you glue it down. It's kind of hard to ink the edges when you got it glued down. You know, it can be done, it's just messy, but try to ink, if you're gonna ink, do it before. Three covers done. How great is that? That's one. This is two. And we've got three. All right, so that was fun, right? Got that out of the way. Next video, we're doing signatures. I'm picking up papers and putting together each signature, and it's going to be 2 signatures per book, so we're going to be making 6 signatures on the next video. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you then. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.